Hello, my name is Joe, and this is the seventh installment into the anxiety vlog, where I discuss my experiences with anxiety. Um, in the last episode, I discussed the best ways or just advice on um, how to think about telling other people about mental health issues and how you may be affected by them, and the best ways to let people know that you are, they are affecting you. Um, this episode, we're going to talk about thoughts, because especially for anxiety, well, for any form of mental health issue, your thoughts are at the core of the issue. They most often than not are a very negative aspect of the effects of anxiety, and they are the fuel to the flames, really, in regards to your mood, your feelings, and your general well-being. So, when I first started experiencing anxiety, my thoughts were incredibly negative. They were incredibly they were both short-sighted and long-sighted. So in the short term, I couldn't really see anything past these horrible sensations, feelings, and thoughts. And in the long term, I was just digging up every single scenario I could think about in terms of my future and approaching them with very, very negative, upsetting thoughts. Um, in the short term, I thought, I'm not going to be able to get through today. My body is just going to shut down. My mind is going to deteriorate. My breathing is going to basically deteriorate, and I'm not going to be able to breathe properly. So in the short term, that you've got some very immediate negative thoughts. But in the long term, I would think I'm not going to be able to go and watch the football, which is something I love. I'm not going to be able to go and sit in a restaurant for a couple of hours and sit down and have a meal with friends. I'm not going to be able to go to concerts. But more than that, I was worried I just wouldn't be able to live the life that I have imagined in my head. I wouldn't be able to go back to university. I wouldn't be able to, um, find a life partner. I wouldn't be able to have a family. I wouldn't be able to keep a job down. All of these things. And your thoughts are one of the biggest things that influence how you are feeling. So after time, you will you will be aware of the thoughts or the triggers that start off some negative thoughts, and we all have our own personal negative thoughts. Um, mine was just generally about my own well-being, how I would feel physically, and how that would affect my life and my decisions. Um, but what I have come to learn, and a really, really good tip, is when you have a thought, whether it is negative or positive, whether it is I feel horrendous today, I'm not going to be able to do today, or whether it's very positive, like I feel amazing, I'm really looking forward to that. Your thoughts are an abstract. So, okay, let me repeat that. Your thoughts are abstract. If a thought comes into your head, it is not immediately negative or positive. It is simply just a thought. It's just like, you know, a sound or a cloud or any single thing that doesn't actually have meaning. It it then has meaning however you approach it. Your own perception of your thoughts and the ways that you approach your thoughts are what give it meaning. So if you have a thought and then you react in a negative way to it, you are giving that thought a negative energy. You are just, labeling it negative. And it's very difficult because obviously if you achieve something or if something goes well, you have a thought and it's great. It makes you feel happy. But that's because you are approaching it positively. You're in a positive environment, or something would appear positive to you. Something would evoke happiness. And so rather than thinking that the thoughts themselves are what create happiness, you have to try and stand back a bit and think, okay, a bad thought's popped up, but I'm just going to approach it and think about it as an abstract. And I'm not going to attach any extreme energy or perception to it either way. If you imagine that your mind or your body, your mindset, how you're feeling, if you imagine that that is just a clear sky. Now, every single thought is a cloud, okay? So your normal, balanced, unaffected, average self is just a clear sky, and everything else is a cloud. Now, if you have a thought go through your mind, that's simply a cloud. If it's a positive thought, it might be a nice, small, fluffy white cloud. If it's a negative thought, it might be a rain cloud. But ultimately, even if the cloud is passing through, your normal balanced self is still there. But if you allow lots of negative rain clouds to build up in your head, it's going to completely cloud your judgment and it's going to completely disguise your normal self. So with thoughts, try to understand that yes, bad thoughts and negative thoughts are never pleasant, they're never helpful, they do bring you down, they do cloud your judgment. But if you think that they are just an abstract entity, having a bad thought doesn't mean you're going to have a bad day. Having a bad thought doesn't mean you're going to feel worse as the day goes on. Having a bad thought in no way makes that a reality. It is just a thought. And more often than not, 90% of our thoughts we're not even consciously thinking about. Things just spring up into your head. If you were aware of how many random and, irrelevant thoughts you have throughout the day, if you were aware of that, you would then think, that's odd. Maybe I shouldn't place so much negativity or so much, focus or concentration on the bad thoughts. So, again, looking back to the main theme of these videos or the advice I give, it's all about balance and just creating a calm stability. So, when you approach your thoughts, don't immediately attach negativity or positivity to them. Just think of them as this abstract entity, just this cloud floating through a sky. And it's how you perceive them, it's how you approach them. If you have a thought, rather than thinking, oh God, I shouldn't have had that, think, interesting. My mind has just created this abstract, thought bubble. Equally, what I can also advise is if you're constantly having bad thoughts, and I mean, I still, I still am, am victim to this, where you have a bad thought, and that bad thought sticks in your mind, and your mind plays it over and over, playing out every possibility it can, and trying, it fights a losing battle, and it keeps playing over the same thought, and you think, I can't get it out of my head, I'm trying to rationalize this, I'm trying to make this work out in my favor. that sucks and it's horrible and it's unpleasant and it's uncomfortable. But my advice is let go. Don't try and fight it. Don't try and rationalize it. Don't try and block it out, because the more you say, don't have these thoughts, I can't get this out of my head, just go, that creates frustration and tension and anger. And these things fuel anxiety, they fuel depression. So instead, sit back, breathe in, and say, I am not going to fight you today. I'm not going to fight these thoughts. And it will honestly, it won't make them go away. It won't make them easy to deal with, but it will change your mindset. And if you're not on high alert to battle your thoughts, and you calm your body, you relax your muscles, you deepen your breathing, that will relay to your brain that it should it should not be trying to fight. It should be just trying to relax and stay calm. So fighting your thoughts is often not a good thing, but attaching negativity or positivity to them can be counterproductive. So, a couple of things there. Hopefully, when you next have anxiety or a period where you're very down and experiencing depression or negative thoughts or harmful, unpleasant thoughts, just try and remember that they don't dictate your life. They spring up as just, an unrealistic abstract entity. There is no inert meaning in them. It's just how you attach a meaning to them. So don't try and force positivity on your thoughts, but also don't indulge and don't focus too much on the negative aspects. Again, this is all far easier said than done, but it takes practice, it takes time. And after a while, if you give it a go, you can get back to me and let me know if it helped, if it didn't help, if it changed your mindset or changed your habits. Yeah, let me know, and also talk to others about it. If you do have a friend or a close someone close that you can discuss these things with, then that's brilliant. But yeah, talking does help. So anyway, there we go. I can get into more specifics about thoughts and thought processes in future videos, but yeah, like always, thank you very, very much for your time, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.